In 1788, there were between 300 and 700 indigenous languages spoken across Australia. However, in Australian 2016 census, only around 160 of these languages were reported as being spoken at home. I think we as a nation need to do something about it in order to preserve the oldest cultural heritage. Nevertheless, today I want to mention 5 common Aboriginal words and the meaning. Billabong is a watercourse which runs only after it rains. Canberra, the capital of Australia, is the Aboriginal word meaning meeting place. Country is a term used by First Nation people to refer to the land, water, sky to which they are connected through ancestry ties and family origin. Deadly, far from what you think in Aboriginal word, deadly means awesome, fantastic or great. Mob means identify a group of Aboriginal people associated with a particular place or country. It is used to connect and identify who the Aboriginal person is and where they are from. An acknowledgement of the country is one way we can personally appreciate our First Nation people in a way which is thoughtful and authentic. Auntie Peggy Titleman, the Gururaj elders, usually standing here to do the acknowledgement of the country. However, due to other engagement, she sent a sincere apology. I have the blessing from her to do the acknowledgement of the country. It is our responsibility to appreciate Australia was cared for and protected by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people for thousands of years. It is a chance to reflect with reverence on the atrocities of the past and celebrate the enduring connection to culture and resilience to our First Nation people. These are the cultural protocols that I observe as the community advocate. Acknowledge the tradition honor of the land on which this gathering is taking place. The Yuggera people also acknowledging the Jagra people and also Yugrupo people whose land covered north of Logan River and up to the foothill of the Toowoomba Range and who has taken care of this country for thousands of generations. In addition, I acknowledge the Turrbal people, the traditional custodian of the land and water of the Brisbane area, straight north from Illingworth Creek, south to Logan River, and inland as far as Mogul. I also pay my respect to the elders past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge all elders, whatever the cultural background, and have now chosen to call this country home. I pay my respect to the ancestors whose cultural knowledge and wisdom and give strength to our younger generation to stay strong in the cultural identity and become the peacemaker of the future. Wishing you a happy Queensland Day and pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth II on Platinum Jubilee and continue to make history during 70 years as a Queen of United Kingdom, Australia and other Commonwealth countries. Nunya, Nunya, that is in Aboriginal language, say thank you. Thank you very much. While we are waiting for the Master of Ceremony, the Master of Ceremony is on the way. I think next we should do the prayers. Why don't we invite the Hindu prayers first and then followed by Muslim and the Sikh community, isn't it?
Sorry, the Hindu and the Sikh, both Sikh.
The both Sikh, okay. Apologies, so we invite Dr. Assalam Malati to do the Muslim prayers. That is Dr. Malati.
talk a lot, and I think I have to talk more. So, forward. We would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are gathered now. We as well pay our respect to the elders past, present, and future. Today we are gathered here in order to celebrate two important matters or good occasions for us Queenslanders. Once, we celebrate our Queen's Platinum Jubilee and our Queensland Day. We celebrate Queensland Day because this our state has so many privileges for us and for everyone, for all Queenslanders and for all Australians. Once people knew only Sydney. Somebody was getting married in Europe, and there was a poem written in honor of them, that they said, in a small city near Sydney. Nowadays they say, Queensland, the most beautiful place, beautiful skies, oceans and villages and all of that. Our Queensland is famous, it's beautiful one day and wonderful the next day. And as we see now, it's beautifully cold now. The other thing which we are famous for is they say Queensland is the paradise of the world. And it is true. We have peace here, we have happiness here, we have love and friendship. In Queensland, when you look at any face around you, you will see a smile. But in a lot of parts in the world, when you look at the people, they just go away. And that is a privilege we have. And we are grateful for that to our people. Very good. We are here to celebrate our Queensland Day, to thank our Creator for the blessing has granted to us. We have everything. We have beautiful sun, so many days a year. We have got so many beautiful trees. We have got so many things here and there. First time I was invited to Queensland, they took me to the Sunshine State, and they were showing me the pineapple farms, and they were saying, "Look, you see how beautiful they are." And I, be a peasant from Iran, I thought, pineapple has big trees. I was looking up there and I saw a few trees there. I was looking there and I didn't want to admit. So they said, "Do you see them?" "Yes." "Do you see that?" "Yes." And I didn't see pineapple from the trees at all. Until we came here and stayed here until we went to a farm of a friend of us. It was 18.5 acres pineapple. And then we know what pineapple is and how it is. But really, considering all of these privileges, must not forget. We are responsible and is expected from do our best and try with our ability to keep our environment in the best condition. Regrettably, all over the world is bad. In some countries I have heard that they are just telling the elderly or the sick people to come out of your house because whether it's that much incredible as you see what you do with we promise that we will not damage, harm, and contaminate air or mother who provide for us with food, and lots of, or I should say, lots of other needs. We must look after the planet because if no is really facing a lot of contamination, a lot of problems here and there. We should not look after land for Queensland or Australia today, but we should preserve it for the generations to come. We are not the last generation. There are other people expected from us. We have a responsibility, and that is to do our best to keep, preserve it, not misuse it as broken. We will not overuse electricity. We will not, and we promise not to misuse, destroy, or damage the jungles and the national forests. Queensland is blessed with lots of those plants. They don't belong to us. They belong to us. Now we congratulate each other on this great day, also promise that we'll do our utmost to keep Queensland to the best of its natural conditions, so that we can deliver to our generation. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is me here, Prakruthi, Mysore, Gururaj, as you all know, so very much affiliated with Fiji Senior Citizens. And just with the way it goes, unfortunately, I had to get a bit late today for whatever given reason. But I'm so glad here to be here, seeing all those lovely faces yet again this afternoon. So our Louis already done the welcome to the country speech. Yet again, I would like to welcome you all for this Queensland Day and Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration. Thank you so much for Aliji for this wonderful prayers. With this, I would like to invite now Mrs. Sunita Avadani to give a Hindu prayers.
prepare, Prakruthi just told me, well, like, can you sing a prayer song? I said, when she said prayer, then I thought I'd say something. So, yeah, just 2 paragraphs. Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam, Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam, Sharanu Vidya Pradayaka, Sharanu Vidya Pradayaka, Sharanu Parvati Tanaya Muruti, Sharanu Parvati Tanaya Muruti, Sharanu Mushika Vahana, Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam, Nitila Nitrane, Devi Sutane, Nagabhushana Priyane, Nitila Nitrane, Devi Sutane, Nagabhushana Priyane, Tatitalankita Komalangane, Tatitalankita Komalangane, Karna Kundaladharane, Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam, Vattamuttina Padakaharane, Bahuhasta Chatustane, Vattamuttina Padakaharane, Bahuhasta Chatustane, Itta Todugeya Hema Kankana, Itta Todugeya Hema Kankana, Pasha Ankushararane, Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam, Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam, Sharanu Vidya Pradayaka, Sharanu Vidya Pradayaka, Sharanu Parvati Tanaya Muruti, Sharanu Parvati Tanaya Muruti, Sharanu Mushika Vahana, Sharanu Siddhi Vinayakam. It's praising Lord Ganesha. We usually start any program with Lord Ganesha. That's how I thought I'd say this. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mrs. Sunita Wadani for this impromptu prayer, and she did it so well. As she rightly explained, Lord Ganesha is the Lord with the elephant face. You all the ones who don't know. So as she rightly said, we always start any good event, any occasion with his prayers. Thank you once again, Sunita. Now, may I request Mr. Samuel Kimanuka to come here to on the stage to acknowledge the guest.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Level 3 has done the acknowledgement of the country, and I'm doing the acknowledgement of our guests. I'll start by Senator Paul Scar, Senator of Queensland. Level 3, I am Chairman Australia of the Chinese Heritage Memorial Community. Peter Hu, I am AM Structural Engineer and a member of Chinese Lions Club with the wife June. Benny Bo, OAM, President of Queensland African Communities Council. Samuel Kimanuka, Secretary of Queensland African Communities Council. Alan Chi, President Universal Education and Multicultural Exchange Association. Richard Huang, President Community Development Association. Peter Huang, President Rotary Club of Satellite Sunny Bank. Sergio Volochenko, AM Party Chair ECCQ and a member of ECCQ board, and his wife Anne. Agnes Witten, AM, former chairman, ACCQ, now retired. Tyrone Kim, president of a Green Community Association. Rita Anwari, president. Robert Kombozi, president of the African Professional Association. Paraman Singh, principal Red Rocket Real Estate and Community Worker. Juhi Park, president of Diversity Women Business Network and Leadership. Vera Potinga, Indonesia Women Welfare Association of Queensland. Anok Nuru, president Federation of Indian Communities of Queensland, Inc. Flora Fang, president Lion Club Brisbane Chinese. Edward Lin, past president World Art and Multicultural, Inc. Susan, past secretary WMCI. Maria, president, one of the head woman employment and leadership. President, One Heart Women Employment and Leadership. Janet D. I am president of Queensland Multicultural Council. Habib Jamal, president Queensland Muslim Association. Brooke Adam, Muslim Business Charitable Council. Yusuf Khatri, president Muslim Charitable Council. Ara H. Maharaj, patron Fiji Senior Citizen Association of Queensland, and we extend our acknowledgement to all other communities attending the event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for this wonderful acknowledgement of the guest. Now, I would like to invite our President of Fiji Senior Citizens, Mr. Surendra Prasad ji, to render his welcome speech, so that you all get a bit more hungrier and devour the food.
We have with us my good friend Benny Moore, OIM, who is here. He won't be here long, but he came here to support us. Thank you very much for your attendance, right? I would like to also acknowledge the elders of this land where we are gathered today here today, and pay my respect to the elders past, present, and emerging. Before I go further, I won't call up names again because it has been acknowledged by my good friend Samuel, and I'm not going to repeat it again. But I do like to acknowledge my good friend, our Senator Paul Scar. We have a very long relationship with him. He's been helping us, this organization, Fiji Senior Citizen Association, for the long time. When he was not even a senator, he supported in many events that we had. And he also helped us. We had a project in Fiji to build a early education center in Fiji. He helped us financially to build that school. So how good he is. And one thing I must say, this person here, being a senator, he goes around and works with the grassroots people, which is fantastic. Politicians should learn from this man that what they're supposed to do. Those are the people who need help. the grassroots people. And I'm glad that he's always there to help. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And also, I'd like to acknowledge my good friend, Peter Ho. You don't know what he has done. He's a structural engineer. What he did for us, when we started the project to build a monument, he did the structural plan for us. And that monument is weighed about 3 tons. So we can't just put the monument without having a structural foundation. So this person has done it for us. Thank you very much. Peter, I did not time to acknowledge today. Also, thank you very much. And my good friend, Lewis Lee, is always around and help us. And he's a community worker. He works with everybody. So how good he is. So thank you very much. You've been always around and all other guests. Queensland Day is celebration of Queensland birthday, and it's official day of the separation from New South Wales as an independent colony on the 6th June 1859, which is celebrated annually. Queensland Day is an opportunity to commemorate the state's culture, heritage, people, and industry, and reflect what it means to be a Queenslander, means to you. We are proud to be a Queenslander. A highlight of Queensland Day celebration is the announcement of the prestigious Queensland Great Award every year on the 6th of June to mark this special day. In celebrating Queensland Day, the community can share a sense of pride in being both Australian and Queenslander. It is time to reflect on how lucky to be part of such a wonderful state. We all deserve communities and come together. Diverse communities come together today to show our respect and love for this magnificent state of ours. Let me tell you a bit about Queensland history. You know the flag, this flag here, the Queensland flag was first introduced in 1876 when state was a self-governing British colony with its own navy. The koala was officially named the animal fauna emblem of Queensland in 1971. Floral emblem, the Cooktown orchid became known as Queensland floral emblem in 1959. During celebration to mark the state's centenary. On 13th November 2003, the Queen's Council officially named maroon as Queensland's state colour. You might not know that. The Queensland, this announcement was made as a result of a long-held but informal trading of using maroon to represent Queensland. That was our thing about the Queensland maroon. Now we also celebrating today the Queen's Elizabeth Platinum Jubilee celebration. This June we are celebrating another historic milestone. The Queen's Platinum Jubilee of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. Her Majesty is the first British monarch celebrated Platinum Jubilee to 70 years of service to the people of United Kingdom, the Rim and the Commonwealth, and there will be many events commemorating the Platinum Jubilee for her around the nation today. We wish the Queen good health and long life. God bless the Queen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'll request everyone to stand and join Sushila in singing the God Save the Queen. Sushila, please.
Everybody can join us.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen, send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save our Queen. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, please. Read this one. Thank you very much. And enjoy the day.
Thank you so much for this wonderful welcome speech, Surendra ji, and
Should have said long may she reign.
we've given her best wishes in the all party. So many important points noted by Surendra ji that our community has been doing. I've been associated with Fiji senior citizens for many years. I've always loved to be here for the kind of service Mr. Surendra Prasad ji does, and to see all you beautiful people every event. But on top of everything, what I love here is the food. So the food is ready, let's get on to it. So have lunch and then we'll continue with this afternoon's program. May I request all the guests to be seated if you all have finished your lunch, or even if it's going, so that we can continue with the afternoon program. Now, we will be seated. Yeah. Now may I request our lovely Senator, Mr. Prasad, to give a speech, and as we've always seen him being here supporting Fiji senior citizens events, and then being there for us with his lovely speeches as always I enjoy. Very welcome.
That's okay. Right. Hello everyone. It's wonderful to be with you here today. Can I acknowledge the traditional owners and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and if I can thank Lewis Lee for that wonderful acknowledgement to the traditional owners. And when I think of the traditional owners as a Queensland Senator on a day like this, where we're celebrating Queensland Day, as well as the Jubilee for our Queen, I think of Neville Bonner, the late Senator Neville Bonner, who was the first Indigenous First Nations representative in our Australian Parliament, and was a senator from this state of Queensland, And he was a boyhood hero of mine when I was growing up. And after I became a senator, I reflected and came to grips with the workload as part of being a senator. I reflected on the fact that he was a man who had only 2 years formal education and undertook this role as a senator. The first representative elected from our First Nations people, and carried all that burden with the benefit of only 2 years formal education. And it just inspires me, absolutely inspires me. And I want to tell you one small story about Neville, which is related to Queensland Day. Now, I have a deep interest in Papua New Guinea. I spent 2.5 years living and working in Papua New Guinea. And Papua New Guinea achieved its independence from Australia in 1975. And there were discussions about where the border would be between Queensland and Papua New Guinea. And it was originally proposed that the border should just be halfway between Papua New Guinea and Queensland. But then Senator Neville Bonner went on a tour through the Torres Straits, and he actually spoke to the people about, do you want to be part of Papua New Guinea, or do you want to be part of Australia or Queensland? And he took that feedback back to Canberra, he ran a petition, and so there are a number of islands that are very close to Papua New Guinea, which are in fact part of Australia and Queensland, because of the advocacy of Senator Neville Bonner, and because he went and spoke to the people on the ground. So I'll just share that story with you. Lewis Lee, I was thinking as you were speaking that the only thing missing from the Queen's celebrations was they didn't have Lewis Lee as MC. They should have flown you over to be the MC, Lewis. Dr. Malati, thank you so much for your beautiful words. One thing about Queensland pineapple, do you know that the gift from the people of Queensland to the Queen and Prince Philip as our wedding present was Queensland pineapple? And of course that was very important because Great Britain of course had been through the war and there were shortages of food. So pineapple, Queensland pineapple was a real treat. Surendra, thank you so much for your kind words. Can I just say to you, as you were speaking, I was reflecting on the fact that if someone were to come into this hall and was asked, look around at who's here, and was asked, who put on this event? They wouldn't be able to tell you, because there are so many different multicultural groups and leaders here. This is put on by the Fiji Senior Citizens Association, wonderful community group. But if someone came in, if Our Majesty walked in and she saw this wonderful, wonderful gathering, and you asked her, who do you think Your Majesty put this on? She wouldn't be able to work that out. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty about Queensland and about the Fiji Senior Citizens Association. That you reach out, as all the leaders here from all our different multicultural groups, reach out to each other and reach out to the different groups and come together, promote social cohesion. And anyone could come into this room, anyone could come into this hall and feel at home. Doesn't matter what their background, their ethnicity, their religion, they could come in here today and feel at home. So congratulations to you, Surendra, on everything you've done. So, ladies, we're celebrating Queensland's birthday. Now, what happened on 6th June? I know I'm getting... Is that feedback annoying you? Do you want me just to speak? It's okay. What happened on 6th June 1859? And Jeanette, I know you would know this, being the historical great history interest you have in Queensland's history. It was the day that Queen Victoria signed the letters, what are called letters patent, which basically was her lawful directive separating Queensland from New South Wales and appointing the person who became our first governor, Governor Bowen, to become and there's a federal seat named after him, to become the first governor of Queensland, and that happened on 6th June 1859. Now, on 10 June 1859, a ship called the Clarence sailed up the Brisbane River to deliver those letters patent and to make the proclamation, and it actually had painted on its side separation. And when it sailed up the Brisbane River, there was a 14-gun salute, celebrations, fireworks, as the people of Queensland celebrated the fact that they were becoming a separate state. So I'll use my natural voice now to progress. So it was a great celebration that Queensland was achieving that self-government, that separation from New South Wales, and we were in control of our own destiny. And can I say to you, each and every person here, we are all part of the Queensland story. We are all part of what makes Queensland and Australia great. So your story is Queensland's story. And always remember that. Another thing to remember is we almost weren't called Queensland, but there was another name that was being considered for what is now Queensland. Does anyone know what it is? Sunshine. That was a good guess. We're actually nearly called Cooksland, or Cookland, after Captain James Cook. Now, I'm actually very pleased we didn't become Cookland, because I've got very, very good friends in the Cook Islander community. And the Cook Islands, of course, their own country. And so I love the name Queensland. And there's a bit of history involved in Queensland. We should be proud of that history. We should also be proud of our monarch, our Queen. And I thought when the Queen's portrait took a bit of a stumble earlier today, I said to the people at my table, my friends at the table, I said, the Queen's been through far worse than that. She's been through far worse than that. And indeed she has. If you think 70 years she's served as our monarch. 70 years, 18 years more than I've been alive. She served as our monarch. When she first became the Queen of Australia, as well as the Queen of Great Britain, etc., and all the realms, Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister in the United Kingdom, and Sir Robert Gordon Menzies was the Prime Minister in Australia. Queen Elizabeth has been our Queen through 17 different Prime Ministers. 17 different Prime Ministers, and we've had that stability. Oh, a round of applause. And we've had that stability all the way through those 70 years. When I was living and working in Papua New Guinea, I can remember going to Governor House, the Governor General's residence in Papua New Guinea, to oversee the signing of some important legal documentation. And my client was Japanese, a company called Taiheiyo Cement Company, one of the biggest cement companies in the world. And they came to the Governor General's residence in Port Moresby with me. And I can remember my client sitting next to me, and they turned to me and said, "Why is Queen of England on the wall?" And I said, Queen Elizabeth II is not just the Queen of England, she's also the Queen of Papua New Guinea, and of so many countries around the world. And the affection with which she is held is just so deep and strong. And I think we all have so much respect for the service she's provided, the stability she's provided, and also her wonderful sense of humour. And if people here saw some of the Jubilee celebrations, that episode with Paddington Bear, Did you see that? How good was that? If you haven't seen it, go on to YouTube. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. But our Queen sitting down with Paddington there and making a few jokes about tea and marmalade sandwiches. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I'm so pleased to be here, Surendra, celebrating Queensland's birthday, but also the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And I'll finish on this. I'm sure if the Queen came here, and I don't want to be presumptuous, but I'm sure if the Queen came into this hall today, and once we'd explained to her that this wonderful gathering is organised by the Fijian Senior Citizens Association, and there are people from all our multicultural communities here, I'm sure she would be drawn to those two checks on the wall. And the fact that our community coming together has done so much for people in need. So the amount of money that was raised as part of the Queensland bushfire appeal, and then also in response to the devastating cyclone Yasi for Fiji, also part of the Commonwealth, I'm sure our Queen would be so impressed by that, but not only by what has been done by the people in this room, but also how it is done. How it is done by all the different groups coming together. So it's an honour to be here with you today. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Surendra, for everything you do. Thank you to all of you for what you do in our community as leaders, as mentors, as examples of how we should all lead our lives in this beautiful state of Queensland under Our Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. Thank you very much.
Every Queensland heart sings a song to its faithful lands and its golden sands. We are proud to say we belong, and our faith is great in the Sunshine State. For a Queensland future is grand, from the northern Cape to the western plain, to all our promised land. All the while every mile there's a sunlit smile and a welcome handshake through. For friendship's great in the Sunshine State. May its sunshine keep smiling for you. All the while every mile there's a sunlit smile and a welcome handshake through. For friendship's great in the Sunshine State. May its sunshine keep smiling for you.
Exercise for my right arm done for today. So next we are having the cake cutting ceremony while Chaitra is helping us out with setting up the system. And we would request all the OAMs and AMs to come forward, also Senator Paul Scott.
Anas Whitton. Benny Boy. Mustafa Ali. Serge Beletenko. There's only two AMs here. You know, Wall and Anderson. That's Mustafa Ali OA. That's Dr. Asalam Malati. That's Peter Ho and that's Janetin OA. That's Serge Belechenko OA. That's Danny Boy OA. Senator Boska, Ennis Whiten OA. And Surendra T. Surendra T.
Yes. And that's Mr. Louis Lee, who's the encyclopedia.
Good. Okay, stay where you are. Stay where you are. There should be all the other community leaders join us. Come now. Madam Jane. Ali Jamal. Both others. Come on. Yusuf Kadri. President Charles. Lady Rebecca. Diana, because the photographer say you are obstructing his view. I'm joining. 1, 2, 3. Good.
continue with our, also please note that there is a raffle tickets available. Jubilee is being giving the raffle tickets, and please remember we are having a couple of more surprises for the day today, and then there's another surprise cake cutting. Today being a friend Chaitra's birthday, 40th birthday, which is a big milestone. Let's give her a big round of applause. And I would love Chaitra to come forward. We will also have her cake cut and then we will continue. Sure. Meanwhile, please note that there's a raffle tickets available. Julie is giving away the raffle tickets. They're very lovely prizes waiting for us. And there are a couple of very beautiful programs for us, dance programs. So meantime, when we are just getting ourselves ready with the system, I would request Chaitra to come for the cake cutting. Let us all give her a big round of applause for her milestone birthday, 40th birthday. Chaitra. So maybe you all wish Chaitra for her birthday. Are we all ready? Yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chaitra. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. May you live long and healthy. May I request you for I would also like to acknowledge Parminder Singh, who came a bit late this afternoon, and also Peggy, who is President of World Art and Multicultural Inc. Welcome. Now that you all have had wonderful lunch, cake cutting, now I would all want you all to loosen yourself up and get ready for the next performances. Join them, have fun. I can see Krishna nodding and you're going to be the first one to be pulled on stage. Okay, so what we do here at Fiji Senior Citizens is this. So we acknowledge, respect and really say thanks to all the elders who have been part of it, and us youngsters join with them and have fun. Regina auntie, you're ready, right? You're going to have some surprise numbers and we want everyone to come on stage and enjoy. So Chaitra, are you ready? We would have Chaitra performing for the yesteryear's numbers, and without being invited by her, I'll be joining, but I would request you all also to be part of it. Mr. Louis Allen, you are not going to escape this time. With the sake of videoing, you should join me. Maria, Acknowledgement, where I call you for a little bit of help.
Thanks everyone for the birthday wishes, and as usual I was asked by Prakruthi a couple days ago when I was traveling for work if I could perform something for Surendra ji, and he's one person I can never say no. I've said the same thing before in this very stage, the same thing. So yeah, just landed from my work travel last night and then I'm just here. So I think more than me dancing, I'm more keen to make you all dance. Yes, I know you all have seen Bollywood dancers with too much lehengas and all that stuff, but today I've chosen really a exterior number from 80s where disco was the boom back then in the entire world, so was in Bollywood. So we'll be taking you back through the memory lane, and yes, like Prakruthi said, it would be wonderful if you all can join. This song also makes a bit special for me because my dad was no more. Him and I, we danced this on my 5th birthday. That's the year when this song was released. So yeah, hope you'll all enjoy this.
We need to give a big round of applause to Chaitra, having a little kid who wasn't very well, finishing up her job last night. Today being her 40th birthday, she has chosen to be for you all today. So with that, to respect her time, we would love you all to join for this stage.
Thank you all. That was fantastic. A big round of applause to all again. And I got a lovely kiss from my son. Ah, yeah. Up next, I would like to invite Mila for her lovely performance. But before that, where's Vera? Vera, are you ready? Ready. Okay. Mila, just one second.
USB? Can you play the phone?
Actually, Vera Potnigar also deserves a very big round of applause, especially because last week she had fallen off from stairs at her workplace and she had such a sore back, but still, with Prasadji's request, a couple of days back to perform, she has accepted. Isn't this amazing? This is how we as a community come together and support each other. And I really thank Vera as well as you beautiful audience. Let's give her a big round of applause before she starts. And do reserve your energy for this beautiful woman's performance, which you cannot escape not getting on stage. So I kept that as a last so that I said, you know what, you're going to exhaust all of them and send so that they go back home and sleep. So with this, I will pass on to Vera's thing. all having a perfect weekend, isn't it? So relaxed, so lovely, and you all being fantastic. So, last but not the least, I would love to have this gorgeous lady, Ludmila, to be coming and performing her Russian song. Just get ready to get on floor. Where are you two? Thank you so much for, we would want you all to have fun with her lovely dance. So, all set, Mila? With this, very good, very good. Now may I request Saras K1 to give us the vote of thanks for the day. Thank you so much, Meela. That was fabulous.
Before she gives a vote of thanks, let me tell you, this isn't easy. This wonderful gentleman always comes up with some innovative thoughts of getting the community together. Okay, so he's always there at the time when the community needs the most, be it any sort of a flooding or it could be any natural calamities. It's just not for the entertainment he organizes. He also comes by for the community to help them have a fundraising events organized. Today too, when he said, normally it's very hard for me to say no, as Chaitra was saying, and we came together with all the shortcomings, we still have made it possible. And I would really, deep from my heart, thank one and all for being part of it and taking part, being a wonderful audience. With this, I'll pass it on to this lovely lady to do a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to you all. I'm sure you have enjoyed your lunch and had a beautiful time with entertainment and all. Thank you. It has been such an honor to be part of this wonderful event today. On the behalf of the organization, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests. I would like to thank our chief guest, Senator Prasad, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion, and also his continuous support for Fiji Senior Citizens Association. Heartfelt thanks to Mr. Louis Lee for performing welcomes to country. He has also been a very strong supporter of Fiji Senior Citizens Association as well. With the flu going around in the country, unfortunately, the Hindu and Sikh priests were unable to attend, but thanks Sunita for the Hindu prayer today. Thank you Dr. Asalan Karachi for performing the prayers for the Queen and our great state of Queensland. A very heartfelt thanks to all performers, Chitra, Veera, Meera, for keeping us all entertained with the fantastic performance. Samuel Kamanuka for the acknowledgement of guests, and Shushila Prasad for singing God Save Our Queen. Thank you once again. We would like to thank all invited guests, community leaders and friends who have gathered here today to support us and for being part of this event. Thank you all. A heartfelt thanks to Surendra Prasad, the President of Fiji Senior Citizens Association, who has been endless efforts to promote and support multiculturalism and raise Fiji citizens' flag higher and higher. Thank you, President. A very special thank you to all the members of Fiji Senior Citizens Association for being part of this event. Last but not the least, a very big thank you to the catering team that has provided us with a very delicious meal. Please accept my apology if I have forgotten anyone. And of course, thank you, Prakruthi, for always being here whenever we needed you. Thank you for your support and making our event a success all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you once again. Have a safe travel home. Thank you all.
Now we have a final closure of raffle draw. And are you all ready with your lucky tickets? Yeah? So, Surendra, do you know you're going to have one for the draw? May I request Parnam Singh Ji to come on stage for the raffle drawing? Parnam Ji. Now Louis has learned G. Louis G. Yeah. There you go. So, do I have to say the color? Black. And then the first letter of black, B. 3. And 0. B30. I should have known, you should have pulled me to the side. So it's black B30. 30. 1, 2, 3, 3, 0. 30. For all the hard work. Oh my God. This is Julie's daughter. Isn't she beautiful? She's also a taekwondo player, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Our president goes missing. Yeah. Your, if it's anything that needs, Surendra ji? Yeah, mystery prize. If it's a bottle, then ask your mom to share with us all. Okay, let's give you a big round of applause for this little girl. She'll come and help mom. Come, mommy, come. Surendra ji, please join for the winner. Okay, there it goes.